Welcome you all. In this video, we are going to see about implementing flex and block display. To do this, we are going to create one file called template.html. Once the file is created, open with your VS Code. Let me have a basic HTML template. Edit the title. Let me have a whole div. In this whole div, we will have a class which is for our styling purpose. And I'm going to have a two class. One is container for the whole div, and the other one is going to be the internal div and its class. Let me have the first div as division1, and the class as div1. Let me have similarly five classes and respective divisions. So I'm going to have division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we want to test it, how it is been running, just go to your folder, open your templates.html with any of the browser and check it. See, you can able to see all the divisions are coming in column wise. That means each division is been taking one row. Now, I would like to apply styles for this. We are going to apply styles in the same file. In the head tag, let me have a style tag. Inside the style tag, I can write style for the class. How I can write? Dot corresponds to the class. So, dot container. Our first class name is container. That is the outer class, parent class. Inside the container, I can write style like border, one px I want, solid and red color. So I'm saying border thickness and the line is solid line and red color. Let me see how it is appearing. You can able to see the border is appearing here. Now let me write a styles for remaining div. Dot div1, that is for first division. Let me have a background color for my first division. Similarly, we will have a background color for each divisions. Let me have division 2, division 3, 4 and 5. Just use control space. You can able to get these suggestions in VS Code. So let me have different colors for every division. Now let me see it. Refresh the page. You can able to see the colors. Now you can able to note every division is been taking the full length of the row. Okay, full length of the row. Now, let me show you some differences in a container. That means the parent. Okay, in the parent, I'm applying display block. Display block. If you see the difference here, you won't note any of the difference to the previous one and to this one. So by default, it is going with the block display. Okay. If you say block or if you are not saying block also, it is going with the block display. Now, let me change the display to inline block. Inline block. Now, we will refresh the page. You can able to see the difference. What is the difference you are observing? The inside content is only taking to the level, okay, is only taking to the level how much it is, okay, and the outside content is automatically shrinked. Now let me have a second container here to show you the difference. Let me have a second container here, container 2. It is also having same division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. In this container, for the container 2, let me have a style here. Container 2. Okay. For the container 2, let me have a border 1px. Let me say dotted lines and green color. Okay. Now you can able to see that two divisions and that means two containers are appearing with its divisions. Okay. But you can able to observe that the second container is once again placing below to the first container. Okay. If I say display same inline block, second container is also going to be inline block. So now you know what will happen. The content will shrink. Okay. Now you can able to see when two divisions, okay, when two divisions are having inline block, okay, and it is being shrinked, automatically one division is aligned to the right of the other divisions. Okay. And when your page fills, it will come down. Okay. When your page fills, it will come down. Now, to understand the divisions better, to understand the display and divisions better, let me have same like 4 times. Okay. Same like 4 times. You can able to see it here now. Okay. You can able to see it here now. The first division is taking the height. Okay. And the second division is coming on the lower part of the first division. That means it is filling from the lower part. It is not filling from the top. Okay. Now, let me show you the difference of flux to you. Okay. When I'm changing this to flux display, both I'm changing to flux, right? Both the container, parent containers, I'm changing it to flux. Now see what is happening. The first, the first container is just getting in the same row. Division 1 to 5, again division 1 to 5 like that. Okay. Is getting in the same row. So what is this direction? What is this direction? Flux direction row wise. Okay. When you say flux direction column wise, it will be different. Okay. Now To have the gap between your first division and second division, let me have a universal selector. That means entire page selector. That is nothing but star. Okay. So for the star, we will write a style margin 0 px, padding some 20 px. That means padding means in internal the content and the border. Okay, the gap between the content and the border. Margin means the gap between the border and nearby element. Okay, outside gap is margin, inside gap is padding. I'm saying padding 20 px. You can able to see there is a padding occurred. Okay, between my window and then my division. Okay, between my window and then my division. Let me try with gap also. There is one property called gap. This will introduce gap within the elements inside the current division. Okay, whichever the current division, inside that it will introduce the gap between the internal elements. So let me say gap 10 px. Okay, 10 px gap. Let me refresh it. You can able to see 10 px gap is applied for every division. Okay, 10 px gap is applied for every division. Okay, now now you can able to note here there is a scroll occurred because of the gap and it is being grown. Okay, I don't want the scroll. I want the text to be wrapped. That means when the page overflows, the text I want to be one line and in the second line. Okay, so for that, in the first container, okay, I can say flux wrap and I can say wrap, flux wrap and then wrap. Refresh it. You can able to see now the flux is being wrapped. Okay, and I want to have a gap between two containers. For that purpose, in the container 2, I will write margin top some 10 px. Margin top 10 px. Now refresh it. You can able to see the gap which occurs between the first container and second container. I am saying margin top as 10 px for the second container. Similarly, you can say it in the first container too. Now, when I say the flux direction, let me see, let me see what is happening. Here I'm going to say about flux direction. I will say column. Now let me refresh it. You can able to see the divisions are occurring one division per row, one division per row. Okay, and it is occupying entire row. And the direction of filling is in the column wise. I don't want this much of space. Okay, this much of space in every row. Okay, the division 5, division 1, that is a small word, but it is taking full length of the row, correct? So let me say inline flux for container 1. Now we will refresh it. Okay, why we are getting like this means I am having 2 times flux. So just remove one flux, save it. Okay, inline flux, and then once again refresh it. You can able to see inline. That means up to the level of the content. Now flux direction is column wise. Now I want to reverse this. Just I can say flux direction, reverse, column reverse. If I refresh it, you can able to see from division 5 it is starting and division 1 it is ending. So the column has been reversed. Similarly, row reverse can be applied. Okay, let me have it as a row now, flux direction. So we will get back to our old status. So I hope so you had understood how to use the flux and block display. Okay, to add it furthermore, if I want to apply any common common styles, okay, common styles to all of this div, okay, I can have multiple classes inside the class attribute. Let me say something like common here, okay, and let me have that common in every div. To make it easier, we'll just use what to find and what to replace like this. I will say replace all, you will get it. So I had applied one more class in the class attribute common for every div. Okay. Now let me write that common class and to feel the difference of it, let me fix some width and height of each div. Width some 100 px, height some 100 px. That means like a square. I'm trying to fix it. Let me check it in the output. Now you can able to see 100 px cross 100 px square is been applied on every div. I had not applied to individual divisions. I had applied to a common style which is available in every division. Now, how many class styles are applied in each division? How many class styles are applied in each division? One is common and another one is the individual division class, div 1 or div 2, etc. to div 5. So two class styles are applied in each divisions. Okay, did you understood this? Block display, inline block, flux display, inline flux, applying common styles, having padding, margin. Okay, my container 2 and container 1 is having margin. Okay, margin of 10 px. And padding I had applied for every internal elements. Okay, that means the whole content, the whole content and the outside border. To understand the padding better, I will apply one border here, border 1 px solid. Let me have some difference, 3 px solid green, green in. Now you can able to see the border here, dark green color border, and you can able to see some space between the red border and the green border. That is nothing but padding. If I increase the size of padding here, you can able to see the padding of 40 px is being applied. Okay, padding of 40 px is being applied. If I decreases, you will again notice the difference. You can again notice the difference. Okay. Why this green yellow green yellow border is happening for every division and every element. Okay, because the way we return the style is in the star, that means universal selector, right? If I reduce the gap also, you can able to feel the difference. See, I'm reducing the gap, you can able to see the difference. Okay, star denotes the universal selector, dot denotes the class selector. Okay, and two more is there. If you have hash, it denotes the ID selector. Okay, hash something is the ID selector, and if you have directly the tag name, okay, then this is tag name based selector. That means you can have div tag, a tag, table tag, and directly you can write the styles for that. Class is not unique, tag name is also not unique, but ID is unique. Okay, and star is only one, that is universal selector. Okay, now I hope so you understood how to use the flex and block display. Okay, next video we'll see about the grid display.